name's Luke from Sutton Bespoke. This is our CS800 Mustang. This is an 825 horsepower beast. If you look inside the engine, we have the Whipple Stage 2 Supercharger with the carbon fibre inlet tube. Now, the Supercharger systems are custom made for each vehicle they're put on. We've opted for a chrome finish, but users can also opt for a magnetic yellow, a red, and basically whatever the body colour is of the vehicle. Going around the vehicle, there's various colour carbon fibre upgrades that we've installed. First with the carbon fibre ram air hood. The list of components that can be installed onto the vehicles is a never-ending list. They've been upgrading and modifying Mustangs in the States for decades, so we bring a condensed version to the UK and across Europe. If you look to the front of the vehicle, we have the double R carbon fibre chin splitter, and then we also have the carbon fibre upper grille. When we put together our Mustang configurations, customers can choose exactly what carbon fibre components they want, but we categorise into three main power packages. The CS800 being the most powerful with 825 horsepower, and then we have the CS700 at 725 horsepower, and the CS500, which is achieved through an engine remap and exhaust system with a cold air intake, gives you about 500 horsepower onto the standard 5 litre V8. If you want to come around the vehicle, installed on most of our vehicles, we partner with Vossen, so these are the VSFIs. We have painted the brake calipers in yellow, and we have installed on this system the KW3 Variant 3 suspension system. Basically gives you the best balance between road usage and track usage. They have a 12-point clicking, damping and compression setting, so instead of having to take the whole alloy off to readjust the configuration if you're going to a track, you simply raise the car and there is a manual nozzle which you can actually adjust the compression and damping settings. On the vehicle, we have on the side an extended carbon fibre side skirting. This is a larger size than the standard OEM on the vehicle. This basically complements the front chin splitter. Come around to the back of the vehicle, we have the carbon fibre rear quarter vent scoops and a side scoop. Now, the carbon fibre and the aesthetic aspects of any car are very personal to a consumer. These are all customer choice, doesn't have to be a package, and if there is a particular product that one has seen installed on another car and would like on their own, it's still something we can source and achieve. So you're not stuck simply to the components that we offer, we can source and configure the exact Mustang that a customer would want. To the back, we have a GT350 style rear valance, and this basically incorporates the quad tip exhaust system. The standard system on the Mustang is a dual tip, so there's one tip on each side. With the new exhaust system, you need a larger rear valance, and we've opted for the GT350 style simply because it gives it that mean, aggressive look. Other upgrades on the back, we have the rear window, the rear brake light tinted. This just gives a very nice look to the back of the car. The standard lights are quite bright, and this sort of gives it a meaner look to the back end of the vehicle. Spoiler options for the back of the car. Now this really sort of influences the feel and style of a car. It's very easy to do a large rear spoiler and get quite boy racery. We've opted for an integrated deck lid panel with boot lid spoiler. You know, this gives it a sleeker look, but you know, if a larger wind splitter was an option, we do have various options for it. That is the exterior of the vehicle done. Now I'm just going to show you the interior upgrades we've done. So first comes the Ford Recaro Sports Performance seats. Now these seats come as standard on the GT350 and the GT350R, but in the UK for the 5 litre V8 GT they come with seats that aren't really that sporty. This we've actually embedded with the original electronic system of the seats, so you also get the electrical components of the front moving backwards and forwards, and you get the benefits of also having the heated and cooling seats. Like we do with most of our vehicles, we have a carbon fibre 4-piece dash. Now the standard dashboard of the Ford Mustang is a large aluminium based component and makes really the interior feel quite Fordy. We take the standard component out. The process takes between 2 to 3 weeks, and layer by layer we install the carbon fibre lacquer on top. The last upgrade from within the vehicle, we've installed the Ford Racing Performance Gear Selector. This is a shorter gear shifter, really used for race setup. It gives more responsive feel to the gear changes and makes the overall handling of the car vastly improved. So now we've seen the vehicle, it's time to go out on the track and show you what it can do. one of 3 that we offer. It's the most expensive. It has a custom built at, in the UK market, it retails for 4,500 sterling, basically about 5,600 euros. It has the option to control the valves within the exhaust. So if you listen now when I rev the engine, as opposed to now, the valves in the exhaust completely shut off. Now, it doesn't just go there. We also have what we call the matrix mode. This is where you can completely configure the exhaust configuration to your driving style. So as you can see on the top menu, you have a 2,000 RPM, 3,000 RPM. So if you select 3,500 RPM, in this configuration, the valves will only open when the vehicle is achieving certain revolutions per minute. Therefore, meaning if you're driving at lower speeds and you're cruising in traffic and you don't want to be too invasive, you can have the vehicle sounding slightly dimmer. Or when you're actually putting the throttle down when the vehicle really should be sounding, sort of more throatier, then you can arrange for the system to kick in at that point. You can also configure it on throttle percentage, so how far you're actually putting the throttle down, and also on speed. So you can get the exhaust to only open up at the 100 km/h mark. It goes one step further, and this is called Geo Mode. This is a very nice feature. You can put in your home address and choose a certain mile radius of which the valves will automatically close when they enter that region. So if you live in a nice neighborhood, you live in a nice close, and you don't want to, invade on your neighbors, this gives you the option that without even having to think about it, the vehicle can enter a certain jurisdiction and become neighbor friendly. That is the exhaust system. Once you're in the car, I'll run you through the different packages and the different modifications that we offer. There we go. So a little upgrade from the one last time, eh?
Yep.
Right, so I'm going to run through on camera because that was this car specifically, and then I just want to run through exactly what the other options are, what the packages are, because this is obviously this car retails for 110,000 euros, so this is, more or less most things selected, most things chosen. There is cost-effective options. There are, no one has to go all guns blazing. A lot of the customers we sell our cars to have a budget in mind. And it really comes in a few different points. You have some Mustang owners who they want to buy a car where they've had the engine upgraded, they've had all the cosmetics done, and they don't want to go through, any of the build project. They just want to have the cars ready. You have other owners who they want to build it step by step. They want to be involved in the process. They want to deal it as their project. Not necessarily going for the whole works in one go, but step by step, over months, over some time, they build and configure their own project. So we can start at any point. We also have the Mustang as a car is quite an iconic vehicle, and we found that a lot of Mustang owners like to import and potentially build parts of the vehicle themselves, but then when they get to the performance aspects of the vehicle, such as the supercharging, they sort of get to an end road where it's probably worth going through a supplier like us, because we can supply a 12-month warranty, and you can extend that warranty for up to 3 years for £1,100 a year. Because when you supercharge an engine, that does void the manufacturer's warranty. Going through a supplier like us enables you to still have the same coverage as the Ford manufacturer, but with very much enhanced power. Now, the Mustang itself also comes in the 2.3 EcoBoost. For the 2.3 EcoBoost, we also have a power package. The power package comprises of an ECU remap upgrade and the cold air intake and an active exhaust system. This really gives you about 40 to 50 extra horsepower, makes you feel much more, responsive with the throttle control, and is a nice sort of cost-effective way of making a 2.3 and the 5 litre. It sort of bridges the gap in between the two quite nicely. Now we're finding in the UK specifically, the early adopters of the Mustang, so the first people who were purchasing them, on the whole went for the 5 litre V8, and now more and more EcoBoosts are coming into play. So, we've done many different builds over the last year and a half that we've been running the project. We've done a lot of automatics, but I have to say, with the supercharger of this power, having a manual gives you so much more control over the actual torque and the power of the vehicle. You know, Mustangs in the past haven't particularly known for going around corners very well, but since the new release of the Mustang GT, it's been vastly improved. Lots of traffic, eh?
Yeah, there is.
Don't worry, we won't come back through this, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, no.
So back home you see many Mustangs, many people modifying them?
Oh yeah, like, it's pretty hot in the Netherlands too. Not like as in the US, obviously, but still, people do it.
Well, the US, the cars are cheap in dollars wise. I mean, yeah, even some of the old Mustangs. I've just imported a 2012 convertible for one of my customers, and you know the actual cost was $13,000. I mean, the difference is when you have to then import it, there's duty and VAT, and there's a few costs to get it road legal in the UK.
Yeah.
But you know, some of the more classic Mustangs, the more used Mustangs, they're very good value. Yeah, we have basically in the UK, so this car retails for 40,000, and we can achieve the CS800, which basically includes the Stage 2 supercharger, an active exhaust system, the sports Recaro seats, and the KW suspension system for 65,000 sterling, which basically works out to about 74,500 euros. Now, I may be biased, but I can't think of another car where for that sort of budget you're getting that much performance. You know, you have the racing seats, the upgraded suspension for road and track use, and that much power in a supercharger. You know, we're finding that's becoming immensely popular. The larger expenses when you come to upgrading and modifying cars obviously come in the shape of a carbon fibre. The alloys on this vehicle alone, they come in at just over 5,000 plus VAT. So if you're a consumer who's more focused on the actual performance and not necessarily the aesthetics, then you know for a relatively good price, you can get quite serious performance.
Sounds brilliant.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Absolutely brilliant.
Right, well, in the tunnels, that's where.
Oh yeah, that's where I'll come alive. Actually, I was behind you when I was in the Donkervoort.
Well, you weren't going to be in front of me, were you?
No. You were in traffic jam yesterday in the tunnel too, right?
We're in the morning?
No, actually in the afternoon.
In the afternoon? Oh yeah, yesterday I went round, I think 40 times yesterday.
Oh man.
We had the car going all day.
Oh man.
You know, I saw parked here yesterday, there was the original NSX in purple.
I saw it too.
Oh, gorgeous.
That was the exact moment when I was behind you.
You were behind us here, yeah. That is, for me, that was the best car I've seen here so far.
Yeah, looked really cool. I was like, whoa, what's that doing here? You know, like all this stuff, you expected it. But
yeah, you expect it.
Yeah. Oh man, grandpas can have fun.
See, you don't feel it, but with this much power, when you really put your foot down, the back wheels. I've driven many cars in my time, but there's nothing quite as fun as a Rogue Mustang.
Oh yeah. Nice. Such a toy.
Yeah. Such a toy. See, now miles per gallon, why we've been going around Monaco, yesterday I got a grand total of 5.6 miles to the gallon, but on the whole, the normal V8 gives you around 14 to the gallon. The EcoBoost is nearer to about 18. And with the Supercharger, you should be getting about 12, 13, which puts it at similar levels if you're looking power-wise. Dodge Challenger Hellcat's really under 10. You know, you don't really buy these cars for fuel consumption.
Of course not.
Funny enough, I actually got myself an EcoBoost because I thought it was going to make me grand savings on the fuel bill.
Yeah.
And it just it's so marginal, so marginal.
I mean, obviously you don't drive this like this on a weekly basis.
Oh no. Well, no, I'd either end up in hospital.
Oh yeah.
Or, you know,
you'd have some brain damage.
Yeah, serious speeding bill.
Insane. It's insane.
See, now you remember from last year, that was, you know, that was when we just started. Now we've been doing it for some time. We've built quite a lot.
Yeah.
Our experience. My aim this weekend is to replace the back tires.
I think you'll succeed.
I'm getting there. I'm looking from yesterday where I can see the marks in the road, you know?
Oh man.
Wow. See, now that sound never gets old.
No, hell no.
Should we entertain your friends?
Yeah, actually I know these guys. That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's the one car, I have to say, everyone, no matter what, I think some people when they have like you know, a European supercar like a Ferrari or an Aston Martin, I don't think they're as approachable as, you know, a Mustang owner.
No.
Everyone wants to start talking to you, everyone wants to know what you've done.
Makes sense. I mean, I guess Ferrari owners or Lamborghini owners, I'm not sure, kind of have a stigma sometimes. I mean, definitely not always justified, but
Yeah. Yeah, no, you can't generalize all. But owning a Mustang is, you know, I think everyone from a young age has known the Mustang to be an iconic car. And now they've made them sort of to a level of standard where people can really start supercharging them to ridiculous levels. So good. And there you go. There's a CS800 here in the Top Mark show in Monaco. Hope you enjoyed it.
thank you so much. That was awesome.